Last night we slept in this beautiful gated community just 5 minutes from the beach here in El Salvador. And we met a lot of the neighbors because they wanted to check out the van. The one thing they all had in common, within the last 8 months, they moved to El Salvador because of Bitcoin.
So glad I was holding your hand.
Today we're hanging out with Nikki and James. They're gonna show us around the market and Bitcoin Beach, and we're gonna show you guys how Bitcoin works here in El Salvador.
Yes. Pagar in Bitcoin?
No.
$2.
All the markets like this still operate on cash, so you definitely need to bring your coin purse because everything's like $1, 50 cents. But if they were accepting Bitcoin, that 50 cents could be worth a lot of money in a couple of years.
Does he understand like the whole Bitcoin thing, or?
He's seen that Bitcoin has brought us here and that we do business with them on a regular basis. What we've learned is not to push them, but to just show them
how it works,
how
easy it can be.
Yeah, people seeing that we're here to stay and that we, doing things like wearing Bitcoin hats. He found us in the local paper and he's showing us on his phone. He's like,
"You're celebrities!" Yeah.
He's much more receptive.
Gotcha.
And he sees that this is bringing things to his community, which we feel is more valuable than just like, use your Bitcoin, why don't you use your Bitcoin?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
¿Tengo Bitcoin para tu cell phone?
Sí, pero no tengo la aplicación.
Sí.
For the locals that we talked to in this market, there's clearly a disconnect between what the government is saying and the trust of the people, which we totally get. It can be scary.
It's one of the reasons that Nikki and I really want to improve our Spanish.
Yeah,
Absolutely. And I think the other thing is you think nobody trusts the government. We don't trust our government in New Zealand. And so for them to go, right, this is now legal tender, for people to actually understand and grasp that is quite huge, because all of a sudden they're putting trust in the government. And so when you look at all the education, it's not the government who's doing it, it's actually outside sources that are educating.
I will even go on a whim and say that it's even hard to trust outsiders, right? So like when an outsider's coming in and they're trying to tell you, hey, you should use Bitcoin, it's like, wait.
Who are these crazy?
Think about the history of time, right? In the history of time, every time an outsider came in, they've kind of destroyed a place.
We're actually not extracting anything from El Salvador.
No.
We're actually bringing money in.
So do you think that the next question would be like, what's the catch?
Yeah.
If you're not taking something from me, then why are you just giving to me?
We've had people come and go, you guys obviously know what you're doing and you understand it and you seem trustworthy, so can you help us here?
I need to learn my Spanish.
But it's also putting those YouTube clips
Yes,
up
it
on
is.
education.
In the few months that Nikki and James have lived here, they've created great relationships with the people they do business with on a regular basis, just by being their authentic, genuine selves. Hopefully, someday that turns into Bitcoin business.
We just met Alex in the local market here. Do you accept anything other than like the dollar? Do you accept Bitcoin?
Can we pay with Bitcoin?
Can we pay with Bitcoin?
Nobody pay me for that, but if you want, I'm okay.
So do you have a wallet, a crypto wallet or a Bitcoin wallet?
Only this
That wallet.
I know that Bitcoin is gonna be okay, more security, but the not wallet. Even when you go in the bus, nobody can take it out.
Yeah. So
that one is gonna be more security.
Why haven't you got it yet?
I don't know, because I don't have a time for going to the Chill wallet and going to open my wallet account.
It just feels like work.
Yep.
Yeah.
So what if like we were able to just download a wallet on your phone?
I don't have my ID card. That's why.
So you need an ID card?
Yeah, for open the Bitcoin.
There are a number of Bitcoin wallets that don't require you to have an ID number to sign up, like the wallet of Satoshi, which we were quickly able to set Alex up on. Chivo is the government-sponsored Bitcoin app. When they first rolled it out, they offered $30 to every El Salvadorian resident. All they needed was their ID number to sign up. Unfortunately, this led to a large amount of fraud. People would give away their ID numbers for $5 or $6 because they knew they were never going to want a Bitcoin account. Then somebody else would claim the $30 worth of Bitcoin on their behalf. Now those people can never sign up with a Chivo wallet because their IDs have already been used. And a large majority of the Bitcoin that was given away was immediately taken out at ATMs and turned into cash.
This is the intermission dance. This is the setup dance.
This is how long it takes to set up your account.
I'm going to change it to $1.
I thought the candles were $3.
They are, but I'm going to do one test transaction so you can see.
Okay.
Like this is like a trust thing, and he can see how quickly the money comes. Okay.
Bueno.
Is it okay if I buy one candle, pagar un candal con Bitcoin?
Hold on, let me ask her.
You gotta ask the boss.
We all know that look.
No.
Okay. I'm going to buy one candle anyway, please.
With US.
But only
dollars.
Yeah.
dollars.
Yeah.
We're super grateful for Alex taking the time to explain his feelings about Bitcoin. And while we didn't get him on board with Bitcoin, we did get him on board with F&A Van Life, so that's a win.
This is Giovanni, mi amigo. He owns this fruit stall here, and we buy a lot of our fruit and vegetables each week. One of the things that's important here for these people is you have to remember when he buys his vegetables,
He pays in cash.
he has to pay in cash.
Yeah.
And the other vendor doesn't have Bitcoin, and they're not interested. And it's the education bridge that he has to build is quite big. And that's why I'm not here to try and convert him, but just show him I'm here because of Bitcoin and slowly introduce him. So experiences here with you guys are awesome because he sees that there's more crazy foreigners coming who want to talk about Bitcoin, and he will be more receptive.
Muchas gracias, the conversation. Yeah, thank you.
My favorite thing to do after grocery shopping is to go and eat food at a restaurant.
Yeah, we're on our way now.
So before we have a Bitcoin breakfast, we're gonna have a Bitcoin coconut.
Our friends have introduced the coconut guy to Bitcoin and got him on the map. Literally, on the Bitcoin map. We're definitely gonna have a link down below, hopefully if we can figure it out, to how you can tip these guys.
Anybody can go on and find them on the map and just send them $1.
Oscar, how are you?
Good, how are you?
So good.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
What made you decide that you wanted to accept Bitcoin for your coconut waters?
It's more easier for more customers to buy coconuts or floatings, you know. I want to invite everyone there.
I love that. It's easier. That's the whole point. You're gonna buy your coconut water.
I'm going to buy my coconut with the Bitcoin Beach wallet.
Yeah.
I'm going to send her some money.
It's no different than like sending somebody cash on any app.
Done. Next. Now, she hasn't put the dollars in, so I'm actually going to put the dollars in. She trusts me. Yeah, so $4. And confirm payment, and look how quick that is. Done.
Wow.
She's done. Success.
Oh.
Just like that.
Yeah, right now we don't have the sign, but
Next week.
I think when we have it, they're gonna start a lot, you know.
And I'm gonna get a raw coconut. I want to feel the coconut in my hand.
Pagar con Bitcoin, por favor.
It's time to pay. That's so cool. I love it.
Does it taste better that you bought it with Bitcoin?
It does. It tastes way better. Like I spent less money somehow.
Welcome to El Zonte, now known as Bitcoin Beach. The local government and investors from all over the world have big plans for this little town. This is where you really see the circular economy of Bitcoin taking shape. People earn money in Bitcoin and they spend money in Bitcoin, and then the businesses use that Bitcoin to reinvest in their business.
It's up to people to decide what's important for them. I guess for me, every dollar that you spend is a vote. I have spent plenty of fiat currency in my time. I've earned it and I've spent it, and I've looked at how money works, and I decided I don't like the way that fiat currency works. Is there an alternative? And the alternatives I've seen is gold and silver. For me, Bitcoin was a gold and silver alternative, which I found really interesting. And so I started to put a lot of time and effort into it over the last 10 years. Oh, gracias. As I've used it, I've had to ask a lot of questions. Yeah, I've lost some in certain things, and yeah, in the beginning, especially if you approach it from a investment in terms of a stock, yeah, it can be just as much of a gamble as buying Tesla or buying
There'll be ups and there'll be downs.
Yeah, GameStop, right? Like GameStop.
I mean, I bought a lot of different stocks right before the market kind of dropped. If I was to say sell everything right now, I lose money.
You lose money,
right? And that was the gamble I was willing to take. Any money I was willing to put into the stock market and or Bitcoin was money I'm willing to lose in a sense.
You've only lost money if you've sold it, but then I don't want to see it as losing money, because I see it as the buying power has changed, but that happens whether I hold New Zealand dollars or the euro or the pound or the US dollar. My buying power changes
based on inflation, based on what it's trading at that day.
And that's how I see Bitcoin. Is I've decided on my own analysis that I want to see and use it as a currency.
This is what a Bitcoin breakfast looks like. All right, so we're about to pay with Bitcoin. We're gonna split the bill 50-50. They're gonna pay their half, we're gonna pay a half, and let's see how this all works.
Smooth and seamless.
My app, Bitcoin Beach, I have the option to add my money because I have a lot. No. I'm gonna do receive.
There it is.
There you go. Hey.
Okay. Sending.
Ding.
Bing, bing.
Done. As a business owner, what makes you excited about accepting Bitcoin?
Because I think it's new technology. I like it, and people want to spend Bitcoin, so I'm like, why would I say no to that? And then at the same time, I start learning about it, and it's interesting, and I like it, so I'm like, okay, why not? Let's do it. And now that it's legal, and you don't have to declare tax on it too, which is cool.
Yeah.
This is the best.
Does it make it hard for you to buy goods and stuff, or to stock the restaurant?
To be honest, I don't buy too much with Bitcoin. I only go and spend it at the pupuseria only, and the rest I just use it for long term.
Yeah.
Or if I need to, like for example, I'm gonna do a second floor there. For example, I'm gonna wait, maybe it rises a bit, take a bit out, and then use that cash money to keep going. But at one point, hopefully, it's just gonna be holding, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, right now I'm not,
That's how everything that people are paying you is basically an investment in your savings.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I love it.
Ching.
There you go.
So
You're a Bitcoin millionaire now.
Almost. I'm a Satoshi millionaire.
Thank you so much.
Guys. Pleasure.
It was a delicious meal.
Thank you.
So El Zonte, which has been kind of recoined Bitcoin Beach, is really two areas that are separated by this river that we're gonna have to walk through.
There's clearly still some infrastructure work that needs to be done here at Bitcoin Beach, but with so much interest from the locals, the government, and the international community, it's only a matter of time before Bitcoin Beach becomes a global destination.
You don't necessarily have to go through the river. You could technically drive up around the road or walk up around the road, but I think that's the more adventurous way to go.
Slippery rock is definitely part of the experience. Ow! As I step on a rock.
He's so barefoot.
Here is Hope House, Salvador. So what they do here is they do education for children. So children can come and get computer skills, they can get English skills, they can get Bitcoin skills. And it's all free. And it's just a way to get the kids off the streets. And they can come here. They also do free surf lessons. Every Saturday morning they do a surf class here.
And that's for kids?
For kids. And there's a lot of... it's kids, but then a lot of expats come for that Saturday morning as well, and so they also learn to surf.
Oh,
they
cool.
want to do it.
Sure.
Yeah,
Awesome.
but they also get involved in it as well.
So cool.
We would go in, but right now they're actually teaching the full course, so there's an entire lecture set up all about Bitcoin.
And there's also a co-working space here.
Okay.
So you've got a co-working space as well, a soundproof studio. So for if you want to do a podcast,
Oh, cool.
yeah, you can hire it, rent it, and do it up there as well. Yeah.
And Brian learned his English here at Hope House with Bitcoin Beach.
Wow.
And also everything you know about Bitcoin, right?
That for sure.
And so are you from here originally, like this area?
Yeah, I'm from here. I live here.
That's cool.
Basically, I'm born here.
It's awesome. It's a good life. It's
That's
a
right.
beautiful place where you're
For
born.
sure.
How has Bitcoin kind of changed life around here?
For sure, they changed a lot. Like for example, we have more tourists right now, and the life for everything, for everyone, it changed a lot.
Cool. In a good way.
Yeah, for sure, in a good way.
You use Bitcoin every day, when you're going around?
Yeah.
Is that your preferred method of payment?
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure, yeah. Basically, I dislike when I go some places and I cannot pay with Bitcoin, because for me it's easier to pay with Bitcoin. Just scan it and pay, and easier.
Do you get paid in Bitcoin?
Yeah.
Yes. So Brian works here, and so one of the things that Hope House and Bitcoin Beach Wallet do is they go to all the high schools around the area and they educate the children on Bitcoin and the Bitcoin Beach Wallet, because you can't get a Chivo wallet until you're 18 years old. And so for the best place to learn is grassroots.
Sure, yeah.
And so what they do with Bitcoin Beach Wallet is they will educate, they'll go to the schools, they talk about all the job opportunities now that you can get on the internet in the Bitcoin scene, as well as you get, they talk about, the importance of learning English. And what the kids do is they then come around, because we've gone to a few of the school visits, they get split into groups, we teach them how to download the wallet, and then they go back to these guys, and these guys are all, the Hope House give $5
Nice.
into each kid's wallet, and then we come and teach them how to transact between each other.
One of the cool things I think about getting paid in Bitcoin is like there's a chance that it becomes way more money in the future.
All right. Just in the biggest restaurants you can pay with Bitcoin right now, like in the little ones.
So you can't get like pupusas from like a little shop?
Not in many places, but in some ones, yeah, you can.
Yeah, but it's growing.
Yeah, for sure.
Ryan is absolutely right that Bitcoin is booming in El Salvador, but it still has a long way to go. Even though it's invited tons of expats, some of the business owners are still hesitant to get on board, while others have fully embraced it. But it really might be the next generation that gets Bitcoin off the ground in El Salvador. Now we want to hear from you. Is Bitcoin the best thing to come to El Salvador, or is it a total bust? And as always, a huge thank you to our Patreons who are now accepting Bitcoin.
This is live